Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh. We don't need to fix it either. I don't ever want to fix it.
So, welcome to episode 31. Lee is trying to gather himself.
31.
So if you are unfamiliar with how the sausage is made here, we use a GoPro camera, which has a fisheye lens. Apparently, anything you put in the middle of a fisheye lens makes it look like
here.
Just the smallest.
Does it look like I have a little hand?
Probably so. Colin, who we had on last week, looks like, if you go back and look at the video, he looks like a 5-year-old. He looks like a toddler sitting next to two grown adults.
That's the funniest.
It almost looks like his feet don't touch the ground.
It looks like you edited it on purpose to make it look like that.
Make him look smaller. I did not, Colin.
Oh my gosh.
But it sure looks that way.
That's funny.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, I can't wait for the next guest now.
But yeah, so episode 31
31? It's a good number.
It is. That's my age.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Like you weren't there for my birthday this year?
But I didn't.
Really?
I barely know how old I am.
But yeah, 31.
31 just so happens to be, growing up, my favorite television station.
Really?
Good old-fashioned Nickelodeon was Channel 31.
So you got some money. We couldn't afford no Nickelodeon.
We didn't have packages back in the day. It was just the cable.
Look, you were rich enough to have cable, so don't let me hear about it.
You lived in a double wide.
We had a daggum satellite the size of my house now.
That's fun.
And we got 3 channels.
That's insane.
Only thing we could watch is PBS.
Fun. Never mind. No wonder. That explains a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
It's all coming together
Okay. Now. Yeah. So,
who knows who you'd be if you had Netflix back in the day?
Probably.
You'd be like a CEO of a company or something.
Speaking of PBS, I saw a special PBS is running. Or what was it was an article on their website, and it's talking about this new fad that men are getting into. Okay?
Okay.
Probably not people like me and you.
So,
but
lesser men.
Yes, lesser. Well, I mean, anybody other than us.
What is it?
Is lesser men. I'm getting there. I'm building up the suspense.
I'm good. I'm in suspense.
So men are going around, and it's like a new, like, if you're dating, like out on the dating scene or whatever, it's a form of making yourself look better. You're
okay.
So what they're doing is they're taking their
okay.
They're
we didn't even get 5 seconds in this episode before you start talking about genitalia.
We're talking about newt sacks.
Yeah.
So they take their genitalia and they dip it in glitter.
That's not real.
It is.
There's no way that's real.
It's pretty nuts.
Got it.
Got him.
That's funny.
Got him. There's not really an article about that. Pretty nuts, though.
That's funny. Gosh. You got me, too.
I know.
I was about to get mad.
That's why I was excited about it.
Dang.
I had you suspended.
Got me hook, line, and sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker.
You just set that hook.
Pretty nuts.
Got me. Pretty nuts. That's funny. I'm going to add that to my list.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
That's good.
But speaking of pretty nuts, how was your week?
It's pretty nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I don't care if this is episode or week 3 of whatever this episode's called. Pretty nuts.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
So how was your week?
How was your week? I'm trying to think.
You're trying to think?
Yeah, I got to gather my thoughts.
My week was not nuts at all. I really.
That's why I wanted you to go first.
I built a fence, a part of a fence in my backyard because the dogs kept getting out. There was an existing like chain link type fence that was like just mangled pretty much, and so I put like a bamboo fence up at one point, and then the dog just tore a hole right through the middle of it. It was just like a dog-sized hole in the bamboo fence.
Like an old cartoon.
Like a cartoon.
Where you fall through the floor.
Yeah. It had little ears and a tail and everything. But so I did that, built that up. Jiu-jitsu. Today, I tapped somebody out for the first time.
What old lady was it?
Her name was Gertrude.
Gert.
Yeah.
Oh, Gert.
I think she was taking it easy on me, too.
Did you get her in a rear naked or something?
Arm bar.
Dang, you gonna pop old Gert's arm out of socket?
Hey, if she gives me the arm, I'm going to take it.
Gosh.
Give me the arm and
I
I'm
was
going to break it.
waiting to see how long it took you to start using terms that they use in there. Hey, if they give you that elbow,
take
take it.
You got to take it, bro. But yeah, so tapped the guy out today. Just, 4 classes is all it took over the course of 2 to 3 weeks.
How thrilled were you?
I really do think he was taking it easy on me.
Still,
because he tapped me out twice pretty fast. But then I started laying on him.
So he gave you a sympathy pin.
Like I started putting my weight on him, and I could hear him groaning. Because
he might have just been selling it. That's a good actor.
It could have been. But I was putting it on him. I was putting all my weight like into my shoulder, in his chest, and just because that's the former way that I did jiu-jitsu is there wasn't a whole lot of that. It was more of like, you can tell this jiu-jitsu is kind of inspired more towards MMA.
Yeah,
because they're like, I'm gonna put all my weight on you. I'm gonna make you hurt, and then I'm gonna get you tired, all that stuff. So I started employing that today. Started putting my weight on him.
Well,
and I tapped him.
There you go.
So maybe. I don't know if it was a genuine tap or not.
Yeah. He might have been faking it.
He might have been. But it made me feel a little better about how my day was going.
You got somebody.
Yeah, I got him.
You looking in the corner and the coach is like,
yeah.
You see the guy you're on top of, he's looking over, and the coach is like,
hey, you tapped him out twice already.
He's going to stop coming. That's whatever.
Tapped him twice in less than a minute.
We need that. We need that monthly check.
Yeah.
Let him win a couple.
Let him tap you out just a little bit.
Good, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Other than that, though, not much.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Well, you're in the new truck now.
Yeah,
you're on campus.
A bunch.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Good or mediocre or?
No, it's great. We're happy. Okay. We took the truck to our small group on Sunday night, and I fed everybody. So
nice.
That was fun.
Yeah, but that is good.
Yeah, it's just busy. I know it sounds fun to work 48 hours on the truck and then another 35 off the truck last week. Sounds glamorous.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to be a small business owner, just think about, especially if you have another job on top of, like you're trying to be a small business owner.
Yeah.
Think about going to work for 40 hours.
The best way to look at it is to add up all the hours in a week and deduct the minimum amount of sleep you could imagine getting.
Yeah.
Times 7. Every other hour is devoted to the vehicle or to the business.
That's what it takes to run a business.
That's what it takes to make less than some of my employees. That's what it takes.
Have you ever taken all your a year's worth
of hours
and then figured out how much you were actually making an hour? I'd be interested to see. It would probably make you feel really good about your decisions.
I don't think I want to venture down that road.
Yeah. Well, if we took mammoths and we figured all that out over the course of the year.
Keep talking. I'm about to do this real quick.
I would have made $0 an hour. Just
good
for the year.
Well, so if we do,
you can just do it for a week.
So and then times
Well, I mean,
so a week,
and then divide that by the number of hours you work. However much money you made last week for your personally, and then divide that by the number of hours you worked. Oh
God. It's like $5 an hour.
So what I would suggest is you need to. Walmart greeters make a good bit of money.
Yeah, but
you need to go.
I can't look
just as a part-time job.
I can't look long term at a Walmart greeter. I can't look long term on that. It's the only reason I do it is because that's right now.
Yeah, and then later down the road,
Granted, I've been saying that for 2 years.
Well, it takes
It's a long
least,
road, though.
It takes at least 30. So
Yeah. So last week I made $5 an hour. $5.60.
yeah. But
An
if you
hour.
think about how many hours you worked,
Just about.
yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah,
But we're getting there.
yeah, that's fine.
It's a slow go.
That's all it takes.
Like we said before, healthy stuff grows slow.
yeah,
You can have weeds shoot up in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Them trees, though, them sequoias,
yeah.
it's a slow.
It takes like a year and a half.
Yeah. So I'm still behind as far as on the sequoia scale. I'm still
Sequoia.
behind sequoia.
Segura.
Segura?
Tom.
That's Tom.
So
Anyway,
this week is week 3
speaking of sequoias,
of
we're
our
doing the matchups.
college football mascot matchups.
Yep.
So theory behind this is a death match between mascots.
Yep.
And we have some hate mail
Always.
from the other week. It was a big. I mean, everybody was just saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Which was
We made a big mistake.
we made a mistake, which we did
Yeah.
because we've been saying from the start this is a mascot matchup.
Yeah.
And so we take the mascot versus a mascot, not.
And
you
we
know,
didn't do that.
It can't be the Crimson Tide versus
It's not the.
Hurricanes
Yeah.
because those aren't mascots. Those are just fancy catchphrases.
Yep.
And so we had a text message from our buddy old Tyler.
Tyler Holman. Great guy.
I'm just going to read this how I perceived it.
You want me to read it, buddy?
I'm going to read it.
You
I'm going
wanna
to read
read
it how I like when I
buddy?
read it
Okay.
initially. How are y'all going to say
Oh, gosh.
you're going mascots, then completely ignore the fact that Miami has a stupid looking duck?
Yeah.
That duck would get whooped by a Boilermaker. That man probably eats ducks for dinner. True. Tyler, you are speaking the truth.
I don't think he's ever said anything at that,
That
volume
volume.
before. Ever.
That's part of the reason that
Never.
I wanted to
I couldn't
say
even
it
picture it in
head.
my head
Him acting like
raising
that.
his voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it.
So then
But Tyler, you're not wrong.
you're not wrong.
Everybody else
we
said the same thing.
admit that we were wrong.
They're a duck.
We got Riley Vos. He also called in.
He's been on the show twice.
He's been on the show twice.
Filled in for me once.
What up, fellas? It's Riley Vose. Green Acres, first time calling in. But long time listener to the show. Been listening since episode Hannah B. When y'all start up the most controversy that y'all have. But anyways, I just want to talk about the mascot madness. It's kind of contradictory because y'all use some of the logos from some teams and not from the others. Like the Miami Hurricanes this week, y'all use Hurricane and Duck, while you only use the Boilermaker for Purdue, but their logo is a train. So don't think a Hurricane could throw a train anywhere, not even like an F5 or
That's not true.
U6, whatever you classify Hurricanes as. But so that's just my one thing going forward with the mascot madness. Like even Alabama, like the Crimson Tide, I don't think should be used. Their mascot is Big Al the elephant.
No, he's right.
So
He's right.
could an elephant, be a Native American? I doubt it because they're after that ivory tusk. But, just think about that moving forward. Love the show. Listen to it while I work out. It's very calming and I can focus. And it's just nice to hear you guys talk every week. But anyways, appreciate what you guys do. And hey, I love you guys. Bye.
We love you too, Riley.
Dude, what are the odds? What are the odds that there's 7 billion people on the planet and we just heard from the dumbest one?
Do we want to start making fun of
I
people?
love you, Riley.
Because
No,
when we made fun of you.
That's just because it's Riley.
When we made fun of you.
I had that in my notes.
You didn't
that
you
setup.
had
I heard
that.
it. I heard it the other day.
Well, he also,
Yeah.
this is interesting that he listens to us while he works out.
Yeah.
And he says he can focus that way. So, what I think we should do is give Riley a task to do and then ask him to do like hard math.
Or no,
He might be a savant.
Maybe he just hadn't had
you gotta put something in front of him.
Or we should like just throughout the episode be like, Riley, you need to go get some water. Take a break.
While he's working out. Yeah, while he's working out. Yeah,
we're giving him
Riley,
advice.
hey, get that extra pump in, bro. Come on, push it.
Put a couple extra fives on those.
Yeah, you can do it.
That's funny. Stinking Riley. Again, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. We screwed up.
Yeah.
We know we screwed up.
Miami squeaked through. You can blame it on the refs.
Yeah. They're probably not going to win very more matchups.
If we go by duck, absolutely not.
Yeah. And that's what we should go by.
We're sorry, Purdue. Any of you Boilermaker fans out there.
Yeah.
Or Boilermakers in general.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
If anybody makes boilers anymore, I'm pretty sure they're extinct at this point.
We still have coal miners.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So sorry, we're wrong.
Yeah,
we're wrong.
Do you have the matchups on your phone for this week?
Yeah,
that you can pull up. And then we'll go through. So this is week 3.
Yes,
we're still in the preliminary round. Next week will be the last week.
The last regional round.
Yeah, preliminary.
Then we'll be in the group of 32.
Yeah,
and we'll knock off a whole side.
Yep. So they'll go faster.
Yeah. All right.
So this week,
first matchup. Ohio State Buckeyes versus the USC Trojans.
I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, they're a nut. You just step on them.
And nuts are hard. You can't.
And they're pretty.
They're pretty nuts.
Well, but it's a Buckeye, which is a nut.
Yeah.
So Spartan easy. So
Spartan easy, and the people agree with us.
Yeah.
82% to the USC Trojan.
Still not 100.
18%.
Somebody's in there clicking the obvious wrong one.
Somebody's got to be.
Yeah.
All right. Next up,
the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Yeah, which is just it's the ugliest looking Panther mascot
versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
So that's easy. Panther beats the Yellow Jacket.
Got to. And the people said this was actually one of the closer matchups. Oh, but, okay, so if you had to, and so as a mascot, we're not talking about a yellow jacket as a yellow jacket.
Are we not?
No. A mascot as in the mascot is whatever it is at the same height and weight. So a big old yellow jacket might give a Panther a run for its money. But 59% did say Panthers.
I'm going with Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. Panthers all the way.
All right. So the third matchup, we got the Ole Miss Land Sharks, what a crock, versus the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
It's pretty jacked.
Land Shark?
Land Shark, though.
If we said Deep Sea Shark, okay. In between the two sandbar shark, all right. This is a land shark.
But the what's his face? Old Raider has 2 shotguns.
Are they shotguns or
those are shotguns?
They're not the little Winchesters.
Those are shotguns.
Well, then it's
2 shotguns.
It's the Red Raider then.
I don't care if you've got 1 shotgun slug per gun.
You're still killing it.
You're still killing it.
Yeah, and it's not just run away.
Yeah, while you can't reload.
Yeah, so easy for Texas Tech.
72% of the people agreed with us.
All right.
72% said Texas Tech Raiders would beat over the 28% Ole Miss Land Sharks.
All right.
So then, next matchup.
The Michigan Wolverines versus the Kansas Jayhawks. Wolverine.
That Wolverine, though, versus a bird that is that big.
We're going to get hate mail this week because now we're changing up the rules.
I think these have been the rules since the start.
But no, remember when we had Colorado versus Oregon and it was the Buffaloes versus the Ducks and we said a buffalo would stomp a duck out in 2 seconds? I think we got to stick with it's whatever that thing is.
Oh, just the animal, not that.
I think that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I've been putting it into my mind that if it was a full grown, like if it human sized bird.
Oh. I'm going off of the mascot turns to whatever actual thing that is.
I got you.
That's why I said the yellow jacket was so easy. Because I'm not looking at a yellow jacket as tall, 6 foot tall.
But if the yellow jacket was 6 foot tall, it would be a closer match, which I think is what the people are voting on too.
Yeah.
Because that's why it was such a close match.
Should have probably talked about this beforehand.
Probably should have. We're professionals.
I'm going off of what it would be.
Yeah. And so I'm going to say if there was a 6 foot tall Wolverine, though, too,
True.
it's going to be pretty hard to beat a 6 foot tall Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Wolverine.
Yeah, I was going to go Wolverine.
And that's what the people, 83% Wolverines, 17% Jayhawks.
All right. Next, Tennessee Volunteers.
Which is a big old 6 foot
Gosh,
dog.
we're going with the dog.
Well, that's their mascot.
You're right.
Mascot.
All right, big dog.
I'm not getting hate mail on this week. About
They're the
mascot.
volunteers.
Oh, so it's just a bunch of volunteers out there volunteering their time?
Do you know what a volunteer was?
A volunteer.
You know what that
I've volunteered
volunteer
at
is?
church before.
Do you know what that volunteer was?
I've volunteered at church before.
What it's based off of? Do
I
you
have
know
no
what that?
idea.
It.
I don't
they
care enough
were.
about sports.
It's not sports. This is U.S. history.
Yeah, but it's related to sports.
So, all right. So there was the Tennessee Volunteers were a group of like mountain men who volunteered to go fight the British in the Revolutionary War.
Okay, but they're not the mascot.
Right.
If it was a big old burly guy.
Okay, so it's a bird dog versus a wildcat.
Versus a wildcat. And that wildcat is jacked to the teeth. Look at how jacked he is. That big old head, them big old teeth.
Wildcats. See, I was going back to literal. I think if we're going to go, it's that size animal. A 6 foot bird dog
versus a 6 foot wildcat.
See, I don't think we can do that.
A bird dog?
Because
put a bird dog against a wildcat.
Bird dog. This isn't a mountain lion. This is a bobcat, a wildcat. They're small. They're like the size of biscuit.
I still think you put a wildcat versus a bird dog.
Well, this is why we did
Bird
this.
dog's not that mean, though.
If its life depends on it, it will be.
If its life depends on it, anything's going to be.
We're life and death. That was the rule.
It's more calm natured.
You said Kansas State. I said Tennessee. What are the people? What's the tie break?
Oh, the Kansas State Wildcats?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the tiebreaker? Because you're not pulling me off of Tennessee.
69% of the people said that they would choose in a death match between mascots.
Say it.
Wildcats.
Let me see. Okay. I hate it, but okay.
Do you think I was going to lie to you?
I was just going to make sure.
All right. What we got next?
The Penn State Nittany Lions. Mm-hmm. And then we had
the Presbyterian College.
So Stanford, just so you guys know, Stanford dropped out.
Yeah, because this is what their mascot looks like.
Yeah. It's a stupid tree designed by the drama department.
Yeah.
So we actually kicked them out of the bracket.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody's drama department tied in
and
with
we had
sports.
somebody who commented that they thought that the Blue Hose would be a good contender.
Blue Hose as in the Presbyterian...
Yeah, the Presbyterian College Blue Hose, which is a Highlander, Scottish Highlander, essentially.
Scottish Highlander. So like William Wallace.
Yeah. William Wallace versus...
a Nittany Lion.
The weirdest looking lion I've ever seen in my life. That doesn't even really look like a...
What does the Presbyterian mascot look like?
He looks like this.
It's Braveheart. It's William Wallace.
Yeah.
Okay, so Presbyterian wins.
Presbyterian versus...
a lion.
An ugly looking...
William Wallace versus a lion. I'm taking William Wallace.
I mean, I agree.
Okay.
And the people said 53% Presbyterian College.
Did they really?
Blue Hose.
Let me see it. Wow.
So
okay.
William Wallace moves
All
on
right.
to the next round.
So now we've got South Carolina Gamecocks, which is just like a rooster.
Yeah.
And the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Yeah.
I
Demon
don't
Deacons
like that at
riding
all.
in on a motorcycle.
Who
versus,
okayed that a demon church leader?
Well, do you know what the actual demon deacons are?
No.
You haven't heard about it?
No.
I hadn't either.
You're so stupid. I'm taking Demon Deacons because
Yeah.
it's a rooster.
I am too. Even if the rooster was 6 foot tall, I mean, he's gonna get run over by a motorcycle
Yeah.
by a Demon Deacon.
Yep.
And 61% of the people said Demon Deacon.
Good.
So
I begrudgingly said that because I don't like anything dark.
demons.
No demonic things, but
Yeah. Well,
all right.
it's not real. So
Yeah. Last matchup.
last
of the week,
matchup.
the Wisconsin Badgers
Yep.
versus the UCLA Bruins, which is a bear.
Yep. So we had your wife comment on this one,
Oh gosh.
and
She told me to pick up milk from the store. Is
Yeah.
that what she commented?
She said if Lee can get,
Yeah.
so she said especially if it's a honey badger, those mammals are the meanest. So
Thank you for your input, dear. But they are not the Wisconsin honey badgers. So
it is a badger though.
her point is moot.
It's a badger.
It's not a honey badger.
No, it's
two
not.
different animals.
It's a badger though.
That's a brown bear.
Oh yeah, brown bear wins.
Yeah.
There's-
So UCLA wins, advances.
I agree. And the people, it was a close matchup as well. 47% said the Wisconsin Badgers. 53%
All
said
right.
the UCLA Bears.
All right.
I think after this first round, stuff's going to get a lot more interesting.
They're going to get tighter.
Yeah, because we've got actual contenders.
We got winners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got people who, it's not just a
Well, we have
B.
a whole nother one of these
Yeah.
16s though.
Yeah, but it's not just like a bee versus a brown bear.
You're right.
or whatever. So I think after this week, you're going to start seeing a lot closer. After next week, you're going to start seeing a lot closer matchups.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you want to tell us how bad we screwed up this week,
Which I'm sure there's some of you.
which is fine, we welcome
Yeah.
you commenting and texting and
Well,
calling.
we're not going to get any better unless we get pushed on things.
Absolutely. So 205-523-5934. Send us a text. Send us a voicemail.
Yep.
Send us a video message. We'll play it on air
Yeah.
or on the podcast. We're not technically on air.
Yeah.
But yeah, send it in. Let us know what you think about what we screwed up on, what we did good on.
Yeah.
That's also, would be a plus.
Yeah. Speaking of college football,
Yeah.
we were talking about the Title IX thing.
Title IX sports.
Which this headline should also read "Water's wet."
Yeah. Well, so Title IX sports, which is primarily sports that aren't mainstream enough to
Well-
get funding on their own.
It's just that Title IX is a legal term for, I guess it's the amendment to something or the bill that came through or whatever, the rule
Yeah.
that said you have to have as many girl sports as boy sports
Yeah.
at your school.
Which
Or comparable, whatever the Title IX levels are.
Yeah. And so the reason that because I brought this article up that I'd read, the whole reason that I brought this article up was a specific, in the article, they talked about a specific sport and team that was hurting. And so it just seemed, so it's the women's, Alabama, it was talking about Alabama. It's the women's, wheelchair water polo team.
You made that up.
I didn't.
You did.
No. In the article,
Is
they
the pool
specifically
empty and they just play at the
No,
bottom?
They said, this is a direct quote.
I don't believe
This
you.
is a direct
You
quote
can
from
keep
the article.
going, but I don't believe you.
Is that the women's wheelchair water polo team is in over their heads?
You're so stupid. What is there even a Title IX article? No. Would you research these little one-liners?
This is just stuff I've been thinking about all week.
Oh my gosh. I think that makes me madder than that if it was a real article. You're so dumb.
got you.
You got me twice.
I got
That
you twice in one
sucks.
episode.
Gosh, I was taking that so seriously. I was ready to talk about Title IX. Gosh.
I hadn't heard nothing about Title IX sports this week.
They are hurting
Yeah, they're hurting.
Because-
Yeah.
because there's only like 9 colleges in the country that make money off of sports. All the other ones don't.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like the 9 biggest football schools. And dang. I thought
We got to
were
watch
gonna
out for the water
discuss
polo,
something.
wheelchair water polo team, though.
What do they put floaties on this thing? Like they sit them in a
I
like.
said it to somebody else this week, and they were just as cute. They said, this is what their question was before I could get to the punchline was, are the girls in wheelchairs or are the horses on wheelchairs?
Oh, polo.
He didn't understand the concept, but it was hilarious nonetheless.
Gosh.
And then all I could think about was, which if it was real polo, would the horse be in a wheelchair or would the person be in a
Water
wheelchair?
polo is not played with horses.
I know it's not, but I'm saying regular polo.
Regular polo?
Would it be better if the person on top was in a wheelchair, or would it be better if the horse was in a wheelchair?
I like chariot style.
I'm thinking, so in my head,
You're
I'm thinking,
in your wheelchair with reins behind a horse playing pole like chariots.
yeah. So in my head, I'm thinking the horse don't have like back legs. And so you put some wheels underneath him,
Oh.
like the little dog
Yeah.
wheelchairs that they have, and they're just getting after it. Or you're mounting a wheelchair on top of a
What are we talking
horse.
Why would you mount a wheelchair on top of something where the wheels wouldn't touch the ground?
Oh.
What if you go side saddle, like a motorcycle cart
like
with the motorcycle seat?
a sidecar.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
You just
I
gotta,
like the
You got to
chariot.
pull the reins.
I like chariot
Style.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to send that into Alabama and tell them
Dang.
that we've come up with a solution.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was just a setup. It's a big setup.
I had so much Title IX stuff in my head ready to talk about.
I didn't even know what Title IX was for
For
real.
real? Oh my
Not
gosh.
for real.
It's a stupid thing, is what it
Yeah.
is. That would be like that. That would be like if me and you. This is a dumb example, but that would be like if me and you had this podcast, which we do, and we only had an hour and 15 minutes, and we kept going over, and we kept getting in trouble for going over, and then we went back and looked and saw that a certain thing we do every time puts us over by the exact amount, and we don't cut that out of the show. That's what Title IX is.
Oh, if it was a bad thing that we kept going over.
It's a stupid segment that we have that makes
Yeah.
us go over every time, but then we say, well, there could be one person out there who likes that segment. We're not going to cut it. Well, you cut stuff that doesn't work. And so it's
Regardless, women's water polo, wheelchair.
they're in over their
They're
head.
in over their
That's
heads.
so stupid. That's so stupid.
If you don't get the joke, just keep rewinding this one part
Or
till it
don't.
makes sense.
Or don't. I'm getting madder and madder as we sit here.
So,
Speaking of being mad,
speaking of being mad, we both watched a documentary this week.
do you remember the name of it? Because I don't.
It's American
Door.
Murder, the American, the Murder Next Door or something
Murder
like that.
Next Door. So yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. You go through it real quick.
So in a nutshell, it's basically a Netflix doc that follows the a family out in Colorado, husband and wife with 2 daughters. She's pregnant with their 3rd kid, who's a son.
American Murder, The Family Next Door.
All right.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
Oh, we didn't even finish what it was about. Overview.
Yeah.
Family out in Colorado, family of almost 5.
Yeah. Mom and
It's
2
the
daughters.
disappearance of everybody but the husband.
Yeah. Pregnant wife and 2 daughters go missing.
And it follows the investigation.
Yeah.
And
The husband said, we did get in an argument and maybe she's left and all this other stuff. And then
if you haven't watched it yet and you want to,
stop right here.
Yeah.
Because spoilers alerts
Yeah.
is about to happen.
Yeah.
So
I will say it's pretty cut and dry though. There's not a lot of twists and turns here.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, I from the get go, I had figured out there's no way the husband didn't do it.
Yeah. First off, the lady's name is Shanann.
Shanann. Yeah.
So her parents don't know how to pronounce Shannon.
Yeah. I said Shanann a couple of days ago talking about it with somebody else at the fire station, and they were laughing at me thinking I was just making fun of the name. Which
like you did
is
with
a
Colin.
good is a good. I mean, yeah,
That seems like
it
right
seems
up your
right.
alley.
It seems right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I wasn't offended by it at all because
But yeah, so Shanann,
Shanann.
I picked up from the very beginning that she's a pill.
Oh yeah, for sure. She has lupus.
That's what she said in the doc.
Well, I think
If you've ever heard, lupus is a catch-all when they don't really know what's wrong with you,
yeah. Well, and so she had something wrong with
which
her.
is an autoimmune disease.
Yeah, and but she regularly like just blew up.
Yeah,
for no
she
reason.
is a pill.
From what it seems from the documentary. And I'm not talking ill about the dead
No,
because that's not what the whole documentary was about. But yeah, partially.
yeah. It didn't address that once. It
No.
seemed like that Shanann's parents made the documentary.
Also, there are some things that I'm not sure. I think she had some things that she was saying to her friends that weren't necessarily true.
Yeah.
Because like there was a specific.
She had a
group of
mouth
text
on her
message-
when she was texting too.
That's why I don't think there is no way on God's green earth that me or my wife would be texting one of our friends and say, I am buck naked. I've tried grinding on him and
Yeah.
all this other stuff, and he just won't F me.
He just, yeah.
Like, and so I think some of that stuff I think maybe was a little,
Or
maybe
that
she,
was her bipolar going up and down.
yeah,
Maybe.
you know,
But it seems super one-sided. Granted, the husband's a quadruple murderer.
yeah. So at the end of it, they find out that the husband finally confesses to he brings his dad into the confession room and confesses that on his first job site of the day
that he first just
smothered-
confesses that he killed her.
Yeah, and then he says
She killed the babies, and then he killed her in retaliation.
Yeah, but what actually happened is he smothered her
Yep.
to death and then buried her body.
Well, the
wrapped
kids
her up-
came in the room.
Yeah, but so the kids came in the room.
Yeah.
He wrapped her body up in a blanket, put her in the back seat, and then drove with her and the
with
kids
the babies
alive.
in the back seat,
Alive.
asking about mom and a sheet in the floorboard.
Yeah, and he was just
it
like,
was
"Oh,
almost
she's
an hour." He
asleep."
said,
Yeah, and so they drive to his job site for the day.
"Yeah,
And he digs a hole and puts her in it, and then throws the two smaller children into a 30-foot tall oil well,
yeah."
and just shuts it and drives off.
So he didn't smother them as well.
I don't
he just
think
threw
so.
them in there live.
Because in the
I
first
didn't even
girl,
catch that part.
well, the
That's-
first girl went in,
and then the other girl was like,
asked-
"No, Daddy, no," and
Well,
he tossed her.
Yeah,
She
well,
said that.
She said, "Well, what happened to
Yeah,
the other girl's
whatever.
name?"
yeah.
And then he was just like, "Whoop," right in there. So he was a psychopath.
Yeah.
And as much as you want to say opposites attract, in that situation, I feel like
They were two sides
two
of the same
peas in
coin.
a pod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Also,
Again,
just,
not defending
just
the guy.
divorce her. Yeah. He's going through all these problems, saying that they're having all these problems and, you know, that they're just not getting along and all this other stuff, which, personally, I am under the thought process that any two people can get married and cohabitate and live for the rest of their lives together.
We've talked about that before.
There's no reason that two people cannot,
Right.
other than one person doesn't want to or both people don't want to.
Yeah.
So you can get along with the other person, especially if you got kids. But if not, if you feel that strongly about it, just get a divorce.
Yeah.
It turns out he has a girlfriend the whole time
Yeah.
that he was, taking off and doing whatever. He was like 250 pounds and got down to 180.
And was pretty
180 is-
jacked.
He was smaller than me,
He went from me to
less than me.
yeah.
Less than me.
He's big.
He's big.
Granted, you see that a lot though when like your home life's terrible.
You just start working out.
If the guy picks the gym, they get yacked.
That's why I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That
I'm just kidding. JK.
Just say that faster. Gonna get all of us in trouble. Man, I can't afford to get in trouble anymore.
Yeah, but so he gets jacked and then
gets him a girlfriend.
Gets him a little girlfriend who is also like into fitness and stuff like this.
And one thing they were real brash about like posting stuff on social media together.
Yeah, that was another takeaway that I had from the documentary is almost the entire documentary. There was no footage that was taken after the fact. It was body cam footage.
And that was on purpose. That was like the setup for the doc to be.
And all the other stuff was just stuff from her Facebook.
Yeah.
And so.
Which that's another thing.
All of it, like, it just goes to show you that people post way too much stuff on Facebook, that there was an 1.5-hour documentary that.
And half to three-quarters clips of her Facebook videos.
Was her Facebook videos.
Okay. Like we said about the gym.
Yeah.
That's her version of the gym.
Oh, yeah. She was wanting attention and getting it from other
If
other
y'all
places.
know somebody who puts most of their life on social media.
Be careful.
I'm being delicate here.
Just kidding.
If anybody out there watching this sees someone you know or love putting every second of their day on social media, that's a big red flag.
Absolutely.
It's like a hurricane on the beach flag.
If you see anybody who is very fit, that's a red flag.
No.
If anybody
that's good at Brazilian
that doesn't
jiu-jitsu,
have a dad bod or greater has problems.
If you're in shape, your relationships are out of whack.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting at.
Yeah. You've got some real deep rooted issues you need working on.
The better you look, the worse you are.
Yeah. Yep.
On
Absolutely.
the inside.
Absolutely.
There might be a little something to that.
Might be a little something to that.
Maybe.
I'm not.
I know. This is a comedy podcast.
Yeah. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. But there were a lot of. I'd still, even if. I guess that guy was stupid.
Yeah, he had a lot of things. And another thing is, if I was those police officers, one of the first things I would have done was I would have taken some dogs or something to that first site that he said that he went to for the day.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I would have done is I would have called the school and been like, "Hey, have you heard? Have the kids shown up at school today?"
Because he called the school and said he was unenrolling them.
The day he murdered them, said, "Hey, I'm unenrolling him," and called a real estate agent. Said, "Hey, I'm getting rid of the house."
Trying to sell his house.
Bro, if all fingers don't point to you until then, they did after that.
All that abrupt while your wife's still out of town or whatever.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't out of town at that point.
She had gotten back. Yeah.
Yeah, she had gotten back, and then she was pretty much back in town, ready to go, and then just turned up missing. So
from spending 6 weeks across the country.
And then
with her parents.
Yeah. And then she went
Came
away
back
for 6 weeks.
He came for the last week.
He came for the last
They
week.
both came back.
Yeah.
Then she went on a pyramid scheme conference trip.
Is that what that is?
Yes, all those multi-level marketing.
Yeah, I just didn't even know. I didn't know that's what that was. I didn't know that's where she went.
Yeah.
But
that's why she lived on Facebook, because they have to do that for their job.
They've always got to be doing that.
It's a pyramid Ponzi scheme that she was working for.
That makes sense.
Probably selling knives or makeup or jewelry or something.
Yeah.
Or rainbow vacs, whatever. The rainbow vacuums. You know about that. You get that.
Plead the fifth.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to hear.
Plead the fifth, brother.
Yeah.
It's a great vacuum.
Yeah.
Fantastic
fine.
vacuum.
They got good ones too that don't take up 6 months of your life. But
I bet.
And
Stop.
Make your friends.
Nope. Stop.
Yep.
Stop.
Hey, can we come over for 4 hours while a stranger talks about a
I'm
vacuum?
talking about Rainbow. It's a great vacuum.
It's a great vacuum.
We love our vacuum.
They're cool looking.
Yeah, we love our vacuum.
Yeah.
So
I would too. If it was a down payment on a house. So what do we got coming up? We got any holidays coming up? Monday was Columbus Day.
Indigenous People Day.
Oh, well, I'm not woke, so it was Columbus Day.
Not woke.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
because you don't like him, Christopher Columbus still did a lot, so it's Columbus Day.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm just
Trying
trying
to think if
think.
there's anything else.
All we got next is Halloween, which I'm not a big fan of. Not a big fan of glorifying the dead.
Might be everything, man.
I mean, like goofy spirit stuff.
What now?
Opening up portals, what have you.
Oh, Halloween.
Into the dark arts. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Well, witches and goblins and dead folks and bring it on.
At this
Get your
point-
kids really
at
involved.
this point, it's devoid of any of that.
No, it's not.
For me and mine, it is.
Well,
It's
don't
just
care
a
enough.
fun.
That's fun.
To me, it is a fun day for the kids, and then it's a way for us to interact with neighbors and people that we don't interact with all the time.
Nobody care about interacting with strangers.
I do,
Well, you shouldn't.
but I do
Well,
because I'm a Christian, and we're supposed to make
Maybe.
disciples.
you enjoy All Hallows Eve.
Gosh.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, I enjoy interacting with other people.
That's fine.
Especially people that are around us and that we don't get to talk to all the time. It gives you an opportunity to open that door and be a light to somebody. And
on
you
the
go,
darkest
hey,
day of
we
the
know-
year. It is. Hey,
If you choose to think that, then it is.
just read the Bible.
The Bible doesn't say anything about Halloween.
Not the one you're reading.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
Yeah, man.
But
Hey, we're getting busy. These things are harder to schedule. Trying to line these things up right.
oof.
But we love you guys. We're
Yeah.
making it work.
Yeah.
Y'all are
We
worth
appreciate
it.
y'all for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. So we got one more big bracket.
Yep. And then we'll go down the list after that. We'll do the matchups
Yeah.
of those specific ones.
And I think
afterwards.
you said you're going to donate the profits from Mammoth to the school that wins. Did you say? You told me that,
profits.
didn't
Oh, I
Yeah.
can do that easy.
you? Yeah, you can have every dime of profits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Profits is easy, man.
Well,
That's so 10% of 0. Yeah, I can do that.
yeah. I'll double it.
You'll double it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you raise from Mammoth, I'll raise from Cheese Whiz.
Sounds good.
And we'll send it to probably already school that
Title
has
IX
extra money.
sports,
Yeah, we'll
that-
send it to the wheelchair water polo team
Of whoever wins,
of the school that wins.
I can agree. I can get down with that.
I like it. We're doing our part.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And we'll see y'all next
See y'all
week.
next week.